Do you have fond memories of Australia, mate?
Absolutely. Waited ages and ages and ages to get to Australia to play a few years ago, and loved every second of it. I mean, it was a bit of a whirlwind in terms of the schedule. I forget exactly how many shows it was in how many days, but it was very punishing, especially for old boys like us. But we absolutely loved it, and I came home probably about 40 years older than I left, but I loved it, absolutely loved it.
And how did you find the Aussie crowds? Because I know a lot of people come over here and they say that the Aussie crowds are some of the wildest crowds that they've ever played in front of.
Yeah, I mean, enthusiasm was in abundance, shall we say. Loved it, absolutely loved it.
So we're talking about live shows at the moment, but how frustrating has the last 12 months been for you guys? You've had an album ready to go and we've had this lockdown happen right around the world. What's it been like for you guys?
I think it's been frustrating, like it has for a lot of people. But I think, with all these things, you have to get it into perspective. There's people losing their lives. There's people being cooped up, living in tiny little places, maybe with their kids, having to homeschool them. My kids are all grown up and left now, but I cannot imagine what that would have been like back in the day. I mean, I said to my wife several times over in the last year, we really dodged the bullet there.
Yeah.
With our kids having left home, we're very lucky. I mean, we got a nice house, we've got a garden, we've got access to open spaces near where we live. Compared to what some people are going through, to not be able to release your album, I think it would be churlish in the extreme to wail and moan and bleat about that as a problem. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, we did an 8-month lockdown here in Melbourne. And yeah, I felt like I was going stir crazy by the end of it. And I guess that leads to the next question. Were you feeling creative during that time? Because I've spoken to some bands and some artists who have come out of this lockdown with enough material for 2 or 3 albums.
Sure. Yeah, no, we finished our album, this album which comes out, I think it's next week, isn't it? Is it next week?
Yes, yep.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, God, it's yeah, but we finished it in January. It was mixed this time last year, and so all of our attention and our focus had gone into that. The moment we realised that we weren't going to be to release it last year, because it was originally going to be September, and the arena tours in the UK was going to be November. We realised that wasn't going to happen, so we decided, well, we need to find something else to channel our energy into. And we've been talking about our fan club, which had been shut for maybe years. And we decided maybe we should spend a few months and maybe we can resurrect that. And we did. And we have I think it was about this last summer when we put it back together again and launched. And it's gone mad. I mean, we're doing videos and stuff. We're doing live streams. We're doing text chats, making all kinds of video clips, showing stuff to fan club members, stuff from the Vault archive, giving them bootlegs, own recordings, all kinds of stuff. And it's been time consuming, but it's been really good. It's given us a real good focus and a great way to reconnect with fans who probably want a little bit more out of the band. And let's face it, if you can't release your new album, what are you going to talk to them about?
Yeah.
So we decided that was the way to do it. And it's worked really well, I have to say. I mean, we've thoroughly enjoyed it.
How did you find the change in technology to what fan clubs used to be? I'm showing my age here, but back in when I was a kid, if I was a member of a fan club, I would handwrite a letter to the band, and if I was lucky, I would get something signed coming back. How did you find that change in fan clubs these days with things, as you mentioned, like texting and live streams?
Oh, we loved it. Absolutely loved it. I mean, part of the reason why our fan club stopped 20 years ago was because of the fact that it was so reliant on paper and the post and stuff being sent and, physical items. Whereas nowadays, with the digital technology and the internet being here, I mean, there's so many other ways you can communicate with fan club members. It doesn't have to be reliant on all the physical stuff and the post. I mean, I don't know what the post costs in your country, but here Royal Mail, who control our post, are just, I mean, they should be wearing a mask, these guys. They're robbers. The money they charge.
Yep.
So, you know, and it's an awful system as well. I wouldn't mind if it was great and it was worth paying for. But anyway, let's not go into that one because I'm just going to sound like a grumpy old man. I think the most important thing is we've managed to kind of reconnect with them and give them stuff that they can't get any other way. And I think really good for them. They told us time and time again. For instance, we've just recorded, last Friday, we filmed a TV special. We called it a TV special because we didn't want it to just look like a live gig without an audience. Because for us, we need the audience to be in the room normally for a Thunder show to be a Thunder show.
Yep.
So, because we couldn't have them in there, we basically did a Zoom call with the entire fan club for about an hour and a half of the filming last Friday. We filmed all day, but there was a point when we opened it all up live to the fan club, and they got to join us, and we watched them while they were watching us playing some of the tunes. We gave them some new tunes, some old tunes, and the energy of the band in the room while we were playing went up about 50%.
Yeah.
The moment we could see the audience, even though they were down the pipe, you know, them on TV, the difference in energy from the band's performance was ridiculous. It was.
Yeah.
They got to hear, you know, some new tunes in entirety, and the reaction afterwards was really, really good. So it was a real shot in the arm. It's going to be edited up, and it will be out. I think it's the 13th of March. It goes up for 2 days. Tickets are available on our website, but it's our way of kind of playing these tunes. It may be the only chance we get to play these new tunes this year.
Well, what was it like playing the new tunes? Because the TV special, I think it's March 14th and March 15th here for people. What was it like actually getting that chance to play the new tunes? And what was it like getting to watch the response of the people on Zoom to the new tunes as well?
It was unbelievable. I mean, when we finished the album, extremely excited about the idea of being able to play it. I mean, in fact, we went into the studio in July last summer, in lockdown 1 and 2, because we realised we didn't have a lot of bonus material. The record companies always want bonus material. They want extra stuff. They want a deluxe version of the album, and we didn't have anything. All we had was 4 tunes make it onto the album. They're good tunes, but there's only 4. And so we decided into the studio and record 8 of the songs. We brought in a couple of backing vocalists and a keyboard player who all sang, and ran through the songs for like 3-4 days, and then we recorded them all back to back, one at a time, old school, no mistake, no overdubs, no nothing. We start, we finish. If anybody screws up, we do it again, and nobody wants to be the one that screws it up and make you do it again. So you get that pressure, and the kind of pressure to bear over the next 2 days was brilliant. We recorded them all. Some of them ended up on this deluxe version of the album, and it was great. So having them plus the 4 tunes gives us a really nice bonus disc. So we'd already played them longer, but to play them again now against the prism of not being able to play this, we had the shows arranged for May this year, but we've had to arrange them for May next year.
Yeah. So
we said, well, if we don't get to play them, when are we going to play them?
Yeah,
We'll be in the studio again with a new record soon. We're going to have to because we're going to get bored.
Yeah.
So, what do we do? So that was the whole idea. Let's just go back in, make something that's not like a pale imitation of a gig, involve the audience to give us a shot in the arm while we're doing it, and just kind of treat it more like a TV show. We had a show over here, a legendary show here in the 70s called The Old Grey Whistle Test, which was, you can see amazing shots of it on YouTube. brilliant live in session stuff. No audience, just the band performing songs, and it's legendary. You know, I grew up kind of glued to the old Great Whistle Test. Everybody did.
Yeah.
It was a great show. And we have another guy here called Jules Holland, who was in Squeeze for a while. I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah.
He has a show on the BBC where people play in session, almost in the set up, almost in every corner of the studio, and he pretty much walks from band to band. And so we decided to kind of use that as a theme. So it's a cross between the Jules Holland show, where it's very informal. I'm talking to the audience. I'm introducing the tunes. I'm explaining to them in real time while these flight cases are moving in and out, because we're sitting down and standing up. And we did a Q&A. And, you know, we just tried to turn it into something a little bit to just a regular gig with no audience. So hopefully we've achieved it. It's being edited right now, and from what I've seen of it, it looks great. So I'm reasonably confident people, when they watch it, won't be disappointed.
Awesome. Well, we cannot wait to check that out. But I have to ask, even after all these years, do you still get nervous when you've got a new album coming out to fans and new tracks coming out, or do you get excited that they're about to hear what you've been sitting on for so long?
Definitely excited. I mean, it's been very frustrating the past year being able to play the album to anyone. That's very alien to us. We've never been in that position before. Normally, we make an album within 5-6 months, it's out. You know, but in this situation, have to wait a year was strange. And you know, I started running again last summer. You know, just out of boredom, probably. And I started listening to the album while I was running, and discovered that I really listening to it whilst running. I don't normally listen to our albums much after we've recorded them, because I'll be honest, I'm pretty sick of them once I've done it. You know, I'll listen to them again prior to, you know, for a refresh, prior to rehearsals or prior to a tour. But I don't tend to listen to them for pleasure. I've had a year to listen to this album, and now I'm actually enjoying it almost like I was a fan, as opposed to the guy who sang on the album. Actually, all the things that I hate about my performances on the songs, I can't even remember what they were now. So that's been a kind of an unexpected, and my relationship with this album. It's very odd. Very excited for people to hear it. I'm not nervous about it, because I know it's a good record. You know, we're happy when we finished it.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited. I can't wait for people to hear it next week. Finally.
Definitely. And what kind of things were inspiring you guys when you were writing this album? Like, the world was a very different place, of course, when you wrote it. So what was inspiring you when you sat down to work on this album?
Well, there were a lot of things that were pissing us off, I'll tell you that. Luke, he writes the tunes. I mean, he's got songs in there about and how that was frustrating, and how Hounds in charge were making a real pig's ear of the negotiations. Giving our country to vote in the first place, to vote against it, was just like bizarre. So there was that, and there was Donald Trump, you know, the orange buffoon, as I call him. The things that he was doing, you know, and the strokes that he was pulling were really quite a lot. So there's songs about him. There's a song written from inside his mind, a song called Force of Nature. I mean, Luke tried to imagine what it'd be to be like Donald Trump. And I had to channel him when I sang the song. I mean, I like myself, but I am nowhere near as narcissistic as he is. No. So I just drank a load of wine. It seemed to work.
Yeah.
No, so we just had, you know, there's songs about immigration and social intolerance. There's probably more social comment on this album than any other. Although it's always been there. There's social comment on every single Thunder album somewhere.
Yeah.
But particular one, there's probably more.
Yeah.
But that's the mark of the man. He's very clever songwriter, Luke. I mean, he can write a song where he's seriously miffed, very pissed about whatever the subject is, and you still turn it into a song that makes you want to jump up and down and sing along. He does that. He's a clever boy.
Yeah. Well, mate, I know we are running out of time very, very quickly, so I guess to finish up, what would you like to say to your Aussie fans out there before they get a chance to have a listen to the album, but also before they get a chance to check out your TV special as well?
What I would say is basically, if you're interested in the band, you should get this album. Interested in seeing the band play live, you should definitely get yourself a ticket to the TV special, because I think you're in for a treat. There's old plus the new stuff, plus a little bit of extra. So hopefully it will be something you're into, and we genuinely cannot wait to get back to Australia to play again. The first we get, I guarantee you, will be there.
Awesome. Well, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you tonight. We cannot wait to see you back in Australia. So stay safe, and hopefully we do get to see you when everything opens back up again.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate the interview. Thank you.
Not a problem, mate. You have a great day. Talk later.
And you.
Bye.
Bye.